In this tutorial, we're going to create a button click event. We're going to take our inventory application and we're going to activate the code necessary so that when I press the calculate button, I'm going to get an output in my GUI. So the idea of this application is to take the value stored in the cartons per shipment text box and the value stored in the items per carton text box, multiply those two values together, and it will appear in my output label. In order to create a button click event, I need to double click on the calculate button itself. What that will do is it will open up the source code related to my GUI. I still have the tab that allows me to return to my GUI, which might be important when you're trying to determine, property names of your GUI tools when it comes to writing the code. And then the tab is also here so that I can go back to the code itself. Now, what happens by default when I double-clicked on the calculate button is it created this subroutine. The subroutine is called BTN calculate. That BTN calculate is related to the name of the GUI tool, the BTN calculate button from the GUI itself. So the subroutine is created. What it's looking for is it's looking for a button click event. So when the user takes their mouse and actually clicks on the button, an action's going to take place. So what we want the action to be when I click on the calculate button is I want it to multiply the two values stored in the text box and put it in the output label. So we'll start out, we need to know the output label name. It is called LBL total result, and I need that to start out my code. So I want my LBL total result. I have to use the exact same case of letter and spelling, otherwise it won't work correctly. And it is from the text class, so I must include text extension at the end of my button or my label property. I want that to equal. I want that to take on the value. So I'm going to use the function VAL. What VAL does is it takes the parameter of the text box from the GUI and converts that character into an actual number. Now, the name of that first text box here is the TXT carton. The second one I'm going to use is the TXT item. So we're going to take the value of the TXT carton, again using the exact same spelling. He is of the text class, so I must include the text extension to ensure that it works properly. Multiplication is indicated by the asterisk. And I'm going to take the VAL of the item, the TXT item text box. Again, I need the .text extension. I'm going to just add a little space here so it's easier to read the code. Okay, and so what this code will do is it will let the output label LBL total result to equal the value stored in the TXT carton box, multiply it by the value in the TXT item box, and apply it to the GUI itself. So let's take a look at what happens. So let's run our GUI. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put in a value. I'll put in 4. I'm going to put in the value of 5 in the other box. 4 times 5 is 20, so in my output label should appear a 20. Press calculate. And so we can see what it takes to now activate a button click event in my GUI.